A Course in Miracles teaches that we're entitled to miracles, not a perfect, pain-free life. And on today's live, I'm going to talk about what that means, what it means for you in terms of being entitled to miracles in your own life. And watch all the way to the end because I'm going to offer you a special gift if you choose to accept it. So, hello, welcome. Whether you're watching live or later, welcome to the Miracles Mindset Weekly Live. I'm Reverend Jennifer McSween, international best-selling author, personal transformation strategist, and host of the Understanding the Language of A Course in Miracles podcast. And what I do is I help or I work with spiritually oriented, open-minded men and women who want to live authentic, empowered, happy, deeply fulfilling lives, regardless of what comes into their lives or their experience or what they see, encounter, or experience in the world. And how I do so is by sharing with them systems, programs, and processes that I've developed or created based on the radically transforming teachings of A Course in Miracles. So, full disclosure, I almost did not do a live today. And here's why. Because the topic of, the idea of being entitled to miracles, it is such not only a pertinent topic, but it is so relevant to our lives and the quality of our lives. It's really what the Course is about helping us to learn to experience miracles instead of misery as a way of life. And so when I thought about, talking about it, I wasn't sure if, I'd be able to do it justice just yet. However, I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to go with it. Trust what I'm feeling led to share and take it from there. Because I have personal experience to share about this, and you probably have an idea what that is. So to get back to the workbook lesson 77 in A Course in Miracles teaches that we are entitled to miracles. And when you look at the word entitled, what the word entitled means, the dictionary definition says to believing oneself to be inherently deserving of special treatment or privileges, or having the right to certain privileges. And so the idea to be entitled to miracles means that we should believe that we inherently deserve to experience miracles and that we have a right to experience miracles. However, that is not the way we see a miracle. We define a miracle, or we look at a miracle very differently. And I have notes because I have a tendency to ramble, and so I'd rather not do that. And besides, like I said, this is such a huge topic, I don't want to go off course, literally and figuratively. So here's how we see a miracle. For us, you get a diagnosis, you get 5 second opinions, you try traditional medicine, non-traditional medicine, what have you. You gargle with peanut butter, dance in the moonlight, to no avail. Everything confirms the condition is still there, and they basically tell you, go home, put your papers in order. There's nothing else we can do. You only have a few months left. However, 5 years later, not only are you still here, but they can't find anything. And we will call that a miracle. Because from our perspective, the way we look at a miracle is as having some kind of divine intervention. Something that takes place and changes a condition that is threatening or painful or, life-threatening or painful in some way, mysteriously, without any human intervention or interaction. There was nothing that was humanly possible that could have been done that led to this change. And so we call that a miracle. But from the perspective of A Course in Miracles, A Course in Miracles defines or sees a miracle not as a change in conditions, but a change in your perception. So that in the midst of or when faced with a condition that's threatening, life threatening, or taking away your peace, you're able to remain peaceful and feel safe, empowered, and in the case of illness, healed, in spite of the condition being there. And this is what A Course in Miracles sets out to do. By its very title, A Course in Miracles is designed to teach us how to experience miracles. And the way the Course in Miracles teaches us to experience miracles is by changing our perception, so that in spite of the condition, we're able to remain feeling safe, healed, empowered, and at peace. Now, this means that we have a right to experience miracles. We are entitled to experience miracles when you change your perception in that way. And how we go about changing that perception is based on the Course in Miracles itself. There is a program. It's designed as a course with a text, a workbook section, and a manual for teachers that addresses key questions. And the workbook lesson consists of, 365 lessons that you practice. And that brings about a change of mind, which really changes your perception, so that you look at yourself, the world, and everything that takes place in your life and in the world differently. You don't see yourself as a victim of it. You don't succumb to the illness, the condition, the person. Because here's the thing. It's not what happens, but it's the way you look at it that determines the way you feel, think about, respond to, and ultimately experience anything. So the miracle, the experience of peace, is not dependent. Well, the experience of peace, healing, happiness, whatever it is you're seeking, whatever it is you feel pained, victimized, or persecuted by, it is not dependent on the absence of those things. All that's dependent on the miracle depends on your perception, because that is what will allow you to feel healed, which is how you translate a miracle. So here's the thing. I have been practicing the teachings of A Course in Miracles for over 2 decades. And did I always practice consistently? No. Have I gone off course? Yes. However, I have always come back. I've always returned because I was committed to practicing the teachings of A Course in Miracles, living the teachings of A Course in Miracles, so that I can experience that shift in perception and experience miracles as a way of life instead of misery, feeling victimized by circumstances and conditions. And last year that paid off for me big time, because I was diagnosed with lung cancer, as some of you probably know, back in May. And as I shared from the beginning, not once did I lose my peace. I was able to remain totally at peace throughout the experience. From the moment I heard the diagnosis, throughout the tests, the scans, the procedures confirming the presence of cancer, surgery, and beyond. Not once did I look at lung cancer as an attack on my body and something that I had to fight against. Not once did I worry, or I did not find myself worrying about the outcome or feeling the need to have a specific outcome for me to feel healed, safe, or at peace. From the beginning, I looked at the diagnosis, having this diagnosis, not as something that had come to hurt me, but as something that had come to serve me, to help me more fully express my purpose. Because here's the thing, as Oprah would say, what I know for sure is that my purpose is about helping, or to help, spiritually oriented, open-minded men and women across the globe to feel safe, or to live authentic, empowered, happy, deeply fulfilling lives, regardless of what comes into their experience or regardless of what they see, encounter, or experience in the world. And so when I looked at my condition, I thought, if that is my purpose, how, what a better way for me to be able to effectively help people have that experience, having lived that way myself. So for me, this was not about something that victimized me or came to hurt me. It was something that came to serve me. I looked at it from the perception of I am able to remain safe, empowered, and at peace. I do not feel threatened, regardless of the presence or absence of this condition. And this came about because of my practicing the teachings of A Course in Miracles and shifting my perception. I literally embodied the idea of being entitled to miracles, having the right to experience miracles, and I did experience that miracle. So here's the offer, the gift that I'd like to offer you if you would like to receive it, or if you'd like to accept it. We cannot control the things that come into our lives. And, you know, as long as you're alive, if you have a pulse, there is something in our lives. We aren't always totally at peace with everything in our lives all the time. So if you, whether you have a diagnosis, a prognosis, or some pain or problem in your life right now that is literally taking you off your peace, causing you to worry, go into fear, feel victimized, persecuted, I'd like to offer you what I call a Miracles Mindset Deep Dive Discovery Session. Here's what that involves. It's a 60-minute session with me over the phone where we're going to take a look at that particular area or condition or circumstance in your life that is taking you off your peace, causing you pain, or causing you to go into fear. We're going to look at the misperceptions that you're holding that are keeping that problem, pain, fear in place. And then we're going to take a look at, or come up with create a plan for you to take a look at what would be your next step in changing those misperceptions so that you too can experience a new perception and be at peace with the situation. Now, if you'd like to accept this session is normally offered at $500. But because of my back to work promotion, I'm offering this session for $47. Should you choose to go further and work further with me to clear up this problem, change that perception once and for all, I'm going to deduct that $47 from whatever your investment in yourself. Or I will gift you a ticket, a VIP ticket to my upcoming virtual event. I'll tell you more about that later on. Now, because I'm going to be doing all the deep dive sessions myself, and it's going to be, actually, this is only going to be for a short time. I haven't decided when it's going to be ended yet. I can only accept a limited amount of requests. So should you feel you really want to transform this area of your life, release that pain, that problem or fear that's taking away from the quality of your life, from taking away from allowing you to, be happy and at peace and feel empowered, send me a private message saying you'd like to request a session, and we're going to take a look at the schedule and set up a time. So again, you are entitled to miracles, but not a perfect pain-free life. And as we know, pain and problems come into all our lives, but we have a choice as to how we're going to look at it, and as a result, transform the way we experience it. So thank you for watching, and please share your comments, your thoughts, feedback. If you have questions, I would love to know your thoughts, and I would love to address anything that stood out here for you that you'd like to go further with. So please share in the comments. And tune in next Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. You're going to have to show up and watch to know what the topic is going to be. So thanks again for watching. Have a great weekend. And like I said, send me a private message if you'd like to have a Miracles Mindset deep dive discovery session. Bye bye. Have a great weekend.